Hi guys, Tony Rice, Chief Instructor of Yarm Martial Arts Academy. Great to see you guys. If you've been here before, it's great to see you back, and if you've just come across us, the Tony Talks was developed basically over our Ninja Talk chats and our low grade karate kid chats. We have what we call mat chats. The children decided to call it Tony Talks, and that's how Tony Talks was basically born. What Tony Talks is basically about, guys, is we pick a little subject and talk about it in relevance to who the group would be, whether it be adults, whether it be teenagers, whether it's to youngsters. Basically, today's talk, guys, is effectively, it's mainly aimed at like young people and young adults about making decisions, but it's relevant, to all ages really. And it's about making decisions, where we impact. For instance, when it comes to options, a teenager who's going into option year to pick the options they're going to do in the year 10 and year 11. There's so much like worry about it. Oh, well, what if I pick geography? I need to get this. And obviously they have 3 or 4 choices. And like all things, when we have 3 or 4 choices, it's making the decision which is going to benefit the most. Now, teaching and talking to teenagers and young people, the one thing I always find is, I'm going to put it, I can see where myself was in that age group, where you were thinking of a course, i.e. once you pass your exams, your GCSEs, you're going to college or you're going to college, university, you're expected to make a decision on a pathway to university, i.e. these are I need to go to this course, maths, English of course, but I want to do sports science, I want to be learn about, the universe, so physics, I want to go here, I want to go there. But what would happen, like computer literacy and computer engineering and all the different programs they have in college now. Now just imagine you've got all this choice, and I see so many times where I see youngsters worry about making a decision. So effectively they have the fear factor of making a wrong decision that stops them from making a decision. If you understand where I'm coming from, guys. And it goes back to that process I said before in a couple of videos. Guys, if you ever want to see what we've been talking about, they've got the videos here on the side. You pick one and just have a look and go all the way back to the first one if you want. But basically, guys, there's 2 points I always talk about. There's 2 points you always come from. Fear and love. That's it. Everything regards to jealousy, fear of making a decision, someone's upset you, your ego, it also comes from fear. Things like when you're coming from love is when you're happy, when you're joyous, and you've been friends with everyone, and everything's going great, you're in love mode. It's always them 2 modes. Obviously, you've got all the different emotions on top of them, but if you narrow right down, it's always them 2. It comes from fear, it comes from the fear of making the decision. What if I'm making the wrong choice? If I make the wrong choice? I've spent all 2 years. If you worry like that, you will never ever move on. What you have to understand, and this goes for all of us, is that you can make a decision, but if you find it doesn't work out for you and it's no big deal. It is a case of saying, okay, I've learned that I don't like doing that. I've learned that I'm not really into, because I know guys who spend 3-5 years, college, university, to be school teachers, and go to become a school teacher, and at the end of the day realise it's not what they want. It's not what they thought that's what they wanted. Then when they actually got into the environment and lived like a year or 2 years in that school, being a school teacher, they realise it's not for them. Now, obviously they moved on, they find another job, they've got to restructure themselves slightly and then re-educate and go for another. And that's all you do. Guys, the reason why I say this is because I've worked in the scrap trade, I've been a roulette dealer, I've been delivering bread, I've sold photocopiers, I've sold insurance, I've been a forklift driver, I've been a wagon driver, and I did all these jobs, guys, because I would tend to do so many jobs and get bored basically. And I always ended up 3 or 4 times, most of my early life was actually working the scrap trade. I'd leave it, get another job, find I didn't like it, go back to the scrap trade, and find I was comfortable there, till I found I basically fell into running my own martial arts academy. And this is how we built. And all them tools I learned through the time of being employed and actually taking the time out to go and to make my own business, teaching martial arts to children and adults. All them tools and all them skills I learned came out for this. And as my lovely old mum used to say, everything's for a reason. And what you learn and what you're doing is for something you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So all these skills you learn. So if you're thinking about learn, and say you're a teenager at the moment and you're deciding, you know, which course to take on in college, or you're coming out of college and you're hoping to get on a course and you're worried that it's the right course for you. Stop worrying, stop panicking. You can always change, you can always deviate, there's always something there, okay? Never get stuck in something. You've made a decision. If it's not for you, change the decision. I've done that many times here, guys, in the academy. I've made a business decision, gone down the road, within 4 months said, nah, it's not working, change it, okay? Or I've doing something and thought, do you know what, I'll pivot slightly this way to improve that, because I thought one direction would help us, and actually going another slight direction helped us even more. So basically, guys, it's all about making sure, yeah, you do not have the fear factor stalling you that if you make a decision it's going to affect the rest of your life, because it isn't. It's not. Believe me, guys, it isn't. I used to be like that. I used to have the same thinking. If I have to make a decision, this is what it's for me. I remember many years ago working in the scrap trade, being on the shop floor. What I used to do was sort metals into copper into different grades, or aluminium into different grades. That's what I was. My job title was a metal sorter. And I remember being there at the age of 20 thinking, is this it? Is this all I am going to do for the rest of my life? And that has always been my mantra, is this is what I'm going to do for the rest. And what I found, if the answer is no, then I change straight away. If I find I'm okay for the time being, then I will look for something else differently. If it's like, no, I really enjoy doing this, and this I can see this doing, I've done this teaching now, martial arts for well over 20 years now, it's because I've grounded myself, I know I make a difference, and I know my staff make a difference with the children. My first students who I took on when they were 5, 6, now in the 30s, 26, 27, my eldest son, started teaching him when he was 10, he's now in his 30s, 33. So actually longer than 23 years, because we didn't actually go full time till after 20. We were teaching at least part time 3 or 4 years before that. So it's effectively 25 years when you think about it. So that's made me think. But basically, guys, you have to understand, don't have the fear factor of making a decision thinking it's going to stick with you for the rest of your life, because it's not. Okay? Things change, past is past, future doesn't exist, you're in this moment now. I'm in this moment now doing this video. While you're watching this video, I'm doing something else, because we've moved on. But you're looking at it in your timeline, but my timeline has already moved on from this video, if you understand where I'm coming from. So the future's already gone. This video is actually in the past, but you're watching it in your timeline. A little bit confusing, but basically that's how it is. Your decisions are made for the present, not for the past, not for the future, but for now, okay? And you are allowed to change it. So every time you come to make a decision, don't put the pressure on yourself to make it a fear factor decision. Just think, okay, give me a point of call of, this is what I want to do. What if it doesn't work? We'll do B. If B doesn't work, we'll do C. So you've got a set plan, and it eases your mind of what you could do. So I hope it's helped you guys. That little tool there about A, B and C, having 3 or 4, sticking with A, and if it doesn't work, do B. If B doesn't work, change to C. And if C doesn't work, then you need to reschedule your plan altogether. Okay, so I hope that's given you a little tool, guys. But the one thing for you youngsters, okay, teenagers and young people, don't panic about making decisions. Always think about it, make the right decision. If you make the right decision, fantastic. You'll make a right decision, but you might change your mind. That's all it's about, just simply changing your mind and changing your direction of life. Hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you want to see the previous video, just simply click that one. And if you want to see the playlist of Tony Talks, press that one. And if you want to subscribe so you get all the videos from Tony Talks and all the other various videos we put up on our channel, on Yarm Martial Arts channel, just simply subscribe. Thanks very much for your time, guys. Have a great day. All the best.